I'm Nishil Shah. I'm from India. I am in this university since 4 years. This is my last year and my last semester. We met in Hub Lab for the first time. It is an organization which also helps foreign students in the University of Polish Japanese Academy of Information Technology. Also, it inaugurates with them and creates new events and new varieties and so on.
Great. But what is your profile? You are not computer science student, right?
Yes, I am from information management in English over here.
Oh, okay.
Bachelor's.
So you almost finished even the study, right?
Yes, I am writing my thesis,
Mm-hmm.
and then I hope I graduate. So yeah,
We all hope that we all will graduate
yes,
as
we
soon
all
as
hope.
possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as possible. Also, yes, yeah.
I want to ask you actually about your study. I never spoke with people from management. How it is actually about? What do you think about study on management here in Piatk? Is it good enough?
Okay, so I will be honest. So
Mhm.
the information management in Piat is quite nice because they focuses on the person as well, not just on the studies. So it's also they give you some individual lessons if you have some doubts or queries and so on. So that's one good thing. The exercise and the games which we play in information management also makes us helpful in the terms of when we go outside for the terms of entrepreneurship or management jobs. And when it comes to coding, we also learn about coding. It's not just like we are learning about information management and IT, so we also learn coding, but not so much as computer science people. But yes, we do learn coding. So yes, it's a quite good in a stream, and then Piat also they teach very nice. So I would recommend for myself in future as well if I would be going for masters or someone else as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Can you tell me what was the most memorable moment or tutorial, maybe, in such case?
My most
Task.
memorable moment was not in information management, but was with the university when I was um, elected as the ambassador for the university, and when my name came in the newspaper with an interview from the university as a foreign ambassador. And in terms of information management, my favorite professor was Matovish Kowalik. He used to teach us marketing and management. I really learned a lot, and it also helped me in my life right now because I have on my own business, and I apply the same principles which I have learned from him also in my real business. So yeah.
Cool. Very nice. Maybe we had also this teacher, I think, on the first year because we had management and marketing tutorials.
Yes, yeah, maybe might have.
Maybe, yeah. All right. So you mentioned this huge event that has happened to you, the moment, right? So how actually you became this member? How did you get to know about it? Who actually provided all this information, made this proposition to you?
That's a good question. Because I never applied for anything in this university, so that was
So
yeah. And I knew few people in the university. I was like not popular at all. I'm still not popular, but yeah, at least few
you
people know
are.
me now.
You know, lots of people knows you a lot.
That's the only thing. And from the promotional department, I was very good in terms with Marta. She was a supervisor as well at that moment, and she's a head right now. So she asked me if I want to represent our university for foreign ambassador at STA. And I really liked the opportunity, so I said yes. And when I said yes, the opportunity came flying with many other things, like in newspaper outlets, in school campus, then in the websites here, photos, and so on,
Mm-hmm.
and varieties of more things. But my real work started when I was in my third year, when I also met the rector, the dean, and I helped like around 20 students or 23 students, I don't remember exactly right now, with the university. And at that moment, I understood why I was also elected because they also knew that I can also help. And yes, and it also helped me a lot to understand how a management also works in general.
Can you tell me in such case what actually was so special in you? Why they chose you?
That is a very good
Because you
question.
mentioned it's like, oh, it's just random something, but it's not, right?
That's a very good question because I also don't know why they chose me. Because I also have lack of confidence sometimes also in myself when it comes to certain things. But I guess I worked with Martha for 4 months, and maybe she saw something
Mm-hmm.
in how I work, and she just chose me randomly. She had chosen one more person, but that person quit, so
Mm-hmm.
then it was just me. So I had to lead with it, and I think I'm doing good since I have a good reputation in the university till now, and since I graduate, I don't know then.
What was your responsibilities in such case?
So I was elected in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2020, my responsibilities were very less due to COVID. It was everything online, so it was not much. But then in 2021, which when become stationary and online again, my responsibilities changed a lot. So I had to also help the promotional department careers fair. I had to help the students, like for foreign, such as for Carta Pabitu or some documents in general and over here and so on. I also help students to open up, to know the Polish culture, to know how Piat works as well in general. And then I also took part in, they also called me for the many interviews, such as for the Medium, for the ESN, for the Erasmus, for the NAVA,
Mm-hmm.
for 6 newspapers, I don't know, God knows what it was, I just gave it, and so on. So my responsibilities lied a lot on me since it was like I have to be good and also have to show that university has chosen the right person. So I have to not
Mm-hmm.
speak something wrong when I'm going to certain interviews. Also, this one, yeah.
But it's big responsibility, and they gave it to you, so they trusted you a lot, and it's very nice. I think you should appreciate it also, right?
Well, I do appreciate every day of my life. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like I don't. And I just didn't like one thing of this university, which was the democracy of it. It is not so good in terms because a foreign person would have to go through many challenges,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just the one thing I didn't appreciate. But I'm trying to change by myself as well, so that's one thing. Yeah.
What do you mean exactly under it?
So when I was in this university, so I came in this university in 2018. When I came in
Mm-hmm.
2018, it was very difficult situation for all the foreign students because there were like more Polish students and less of foreign students. So when there are less of foreign students, so it's more obvious that there will be less of English and more of Polish. So it also becomes very difficult for an English student to know the culture, to work with a Polish student, or to get to know someone else, to know about how the university works and so on. Although the professors, the deans, the promotional department, everyone were good, but sometimes a student cannot talk with everyone because they also get afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And that time there was like no one like I am doing work right now who can like a student can talk to. So it was a difficult time, and the my first responsibility when I was chosen for the ambassador was this, to change this, that I want to help the new students which come fresh, like who was like 17, 18, who come fresh, would feel home to this university. They will feel like they're not so far, and they will feel like, okay, there is a community for us as well, which will also help us in any moment, and so on. So that was my first agenda, and I hopefully I did it good. So yeah.
So how is the situation right now in uni? Do you think it's much improved here for foreigners? It's easier, right? Or not?
Yes, I would say yes, because back then when I'm looking 4 years back when I came, and now if I'm looking right now, it's quite changed.
Mm-hmm.
Not just me in general, like my own Hab Lab or me in Ambassador, but also the different um, councils, like student council, project management team. Everyone is also opening up to foreign students because of the pressures which we created. So that is also one good thing, and it has changed a lot. Also, the career affairs, the career promotional department, and so on is also changing a lot. They are also thinking about the English students because the foreign students also a lot now, so they have to think. So yeah, it's changed a lot from 4 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a one good step.
Yeah, huge one actually, huge and
Yes.
good step, right? Can we also say like if some foreigner needs help in our uni, like some student, right? Can he contact you just for this help?
Yes, they can contact me, and they can also find me on the website. Although it's very difficult to find me on the website because they have put inside and inside and inside somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But they can always find me through the email of HapLab, also for the dean. If they text dean, like, do we want to talk with this person, and they just give you the email of mine, and so on. So yes, they can contact me for any foreign issues, and if I can help, I will obviously help. I would never say no.
So what we were talking about, yeah, about uni, about your life here. So as I understand, your life changed a lot after all of it. I want to ask you, did you had any other experience with other unis? Did you participate in something, was in some community, or maybe before Piat you finished another uni or something? What has happened to you?
No, I didn't do any uni before Piat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was in high school, that's for sure, because I have to get high school to get graduated. But yes, I went to a couple of how do you say that? To lectures of, to different professors, which they schedule it in Warsaw University, University of Technology, in Lazarski, and so on, Koszmyszki, and so on.
Like workshops, right?
Special lectures.
Mm-hmm.
They
Okay.
invite you. So I have been to that, but I really didn't like it. Maybe because I knew what I was going for it and I didn't want the knowledge, or maybe I didn't like how they teach for the lecture. And when I'm seeing University of Piat, how they make us study,
Mm-hmm.
it's also very different. So I will talk about of what also computer science. The famous professor, which is Piotr Kago.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's like a very busy person, but he works when he makes a study. You would never forget what he makes you study, and that's one good thing. When a person, as a lecturer, gets up and he can, and after 10 days, if he comes and he asks you, you would still remember, and that's one good thing. And I really like that. But I didn't really feel like that when I went to a different university for a special lectures.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also my one choice of only to be at Piat and not change my university. Since I changed my studies from computer science to information management in within 6 months. Yeah.
So you studied computer science first?
Yes, I studied computer science. I had got 4.75
Mm-hmm.
as the first CGPA, and
Okay.
I still changed it.
Oh. At what time did you switch it to the market and management?
2019.
Okay. So before you were studying how many years in computer science?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
And after what has happened, you just decided it's too boring for you, or what?
Yeah, actually,
Right?
yes, yes. So when I was studying, I had what was my first? I remember. So I had database,
Mm-hmm.
I had Java, I had calculus, I had management, and an English course, which I still don't know why I had English, but I had. So
Why you don't know why?
first thing, I should not have an English because I have 8 on my LTS.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think that I would have English, but they gave me English, so I was like, okay, if you're giving me English, I'll take it. I don't mind. But besides the point, I had Java and I scored in Java 5, so it was like all over again, it was the same thing for me since I knew Java from the age of 12.
Oh.
And I didn't want to learn something, and I was also talking with someone who was from third year, and they said that they would only have C# and so on, and I was like, no, I don't want to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard about this new course, which was information management. I went to a seminar of Chichora ma'am, which is the dean of information management.
Mm-hmm.
I really like what they were gonna make us study and so on. So I opted for it, and I don't regret it. So yeah.
Great, because I know lots of people who didn't find themselves in computer science also, and most of them want to switch it to management in our uni. And I think it's good to share some experience, in it, because some people are afraid to regret in the future. But mostly I see all the cases, if you think about it, like if you want to switch, better to switch, right?
Not really. It also depends.
Mm-hmm.
What are your interests? So
Yep.
my interests were always in management. Like I know that I know coding. I know a lot of languages in computer,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that I want to learn or I want to work as a job for computer science, like
Mm-hmm.
as a Java backend developer or full stack developer. I've never dreamt of like becoming a backend developer or full stack developer or whatever it is. So when I went to the management seminar, it opened my eyes that this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also one thing. If a person is thinking of that changing, they also have to go to certain consultations and seminars. Is that the thing they actually want?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes what happens, even the studies is difficult, and we don't know if it's difficult or not, and we tend to not score good, and then we just change it because we think that this will be easy,
Mm-hmm.
so we're changing it, and it's actually not. And then they get screwed because they don't know what to do, because they
Mm-hmm.
changed already, and then they don't know what to do, and then it gets confusing for them. So you should, if you're thinking, if you have a double mindset, and if you're thinking, you should go to consultation and seminar, and that would be really an eye opening for you. And then, because I went to seminar, it was so yeah.
Mm-hmm. So try to explore more. But how to find these seminars or something? How can you get this information? What would you advise?
Okay, so if you're in Piat and if you want to change, you can always go to the dean, which is Chichora ma'am, and you can talk with her. She will explain you information management in a very good way within 30 minutes as well, which will also be like a consultation, and which can also help you a lot. And there are also some seminars which you can directly come at A Hola or B Hola
Mm-hmm.
with the new students, and you can see if it is really for you or not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about it. I think it's useful information for lots of students who are thinking about to switch.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You also mentioned that you know lots of programming languages, right?
Yes.
So tell me, what kind of languages do you know, and how all of it started?
I know Java.
Mm-hmm.
I know C Sharp, C++, Python,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I would say. Like I know much more, but this is a four which I primarily also work on in my daily life. If I have to work, I would only choose this for coding languages. Although I know H++, I know F Sharp, then I know Ruby, Perl, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really like it, so I never code on it.
Why you don't like?
I never use a lot,
Mm-hmm.
first thing, and I just learned because I was like, okay, it's something new I want to learn, and that's why I just learned it. And I never used it, so I was like, okay. And the most I use is Python and AI, which
Mm-hmm.
is the most I use it. So, and Java back then. So it started when I was 12. I was always in computers,
Mm-hmm.
always like in video games as well. I play a lot of video games,
Mm-hmm.
esports a lot, and I was always thinking how a game is made.
What was
So
your favorite game?
back then in 2008, I used to play CS 1.5 and 1.6, and besides that, on the PlayStation 2, I used to play WWE and FIFA a lot, and Prince of Persia, Mortal Kombat. So yeah, these were my few four favorite
That's
games.
it. This whole video like
Games, yeah.
will count. Awesome. But
Yes.
you know,
Also Mario.
I have very similar beginning of programming because my brother every day he was playing games, and what has happened one day I was just watching some YouTube stuff, and I was thinking just, well, he's playing these games like 24 hours per day, and maybe I can think how they are created. And it was same thing as I can see from you, and I started from it. Like the main point is was just these games that my brother was playing.
Yes, it was for me. So when I did that, first I got to know that Java can be used for logic.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with the logic because each game has logic. So you have to start with that. So I started with Java when I was 12, and it is my journey from 12 to 22, so 10 years I came, and that's it.
How did you learn it from such age? Because 12,
It was,
I don't know. Did you use some books? Some people helped you to figure out what to do, or just internet?
So I have older brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So my cousin older brother is also in IT.
Mm-hmm.
He's 5 years older than me, and he was 17, so he used to go to one tuitions for
Mm-hmm.
computer science. So I just said that I also want to come with you. I just went for the first time. Oh, they have made fun of me a lot because I was the only 12-year-old kid, and they all were like 18, 17, 16. The lowest was 16 for what I remember, and I was 12. They were like, "You don't. This is not for you. You should go. This is not where you come to play games and so on." And I said to them that I'm here to study as well with you, and that's how it started. And I just really liked it. I started with Hello World, and here we are, Hello World. Yeah,
So what was your first language? Python?
Java.
Java.
Yes.
Wow, awesome. Because it's hard, I think, for 12 years old guy to learn Java from scratch. I can't imagine it because for me, I also started approximately 12, 13, but it wasn't Java. It was some front end
Ah,
because it's much easier. It's just like you visualize what you are
yes.
coding about. So it makes you more interesting to be
Yes.
interested in it. And after that, I only continued with some backend languages. Like first was PHP, and after I continued with Java. So yeah, but I can't imagine how it is possible to start with Java just at this age.
Yes.
Awesome.
I like JS a lot. I also like Angular and so on, which because it is good for visualizing. I like websites and so on. And the only problem was there was no one who educated me. So
Mm-hmm.
the only thing I knew was like my brother was studying Java, so I was like, okay, I'll learn Java because it's so good. My brother is also learning it, and I just opt for Java. I was like, yeah, my brother is doing so, yeah, so can I. And I guess when you're young, you pick up studies very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one good thing because I was young, so I pick up the studies very fast.
And you have time a lot.
Yeah, I have time. Like if I would not like it, oh fuck it. Yeah, I'll just throw it away. Like no, I don't want Java. Okay, but I liked it. Yeah.
Cool, great. All right. So your brother was like example for you, right? You took it like a good example. How did you think about like I want to be like brother or not?
No.
Never.
Never. Because when we grew older,
Mm-hmm.
I got to know that he went in a very different streams. He didn't continue computer science. Somehow, I convinced myself that I will always take computer science, which I didn't. So I'm also very not happy with myself when it comes to certain things. But I'm very happy because I learned many things which people won't even learn in computer science.
Mm-hmm.
It's outside of it. And my brother didn't continue that. He just went for a job and he's now doing a very good job. I'm happy for him, very happy for him. And yeah, he inspired me,
Mm-hmm.
yes, but he was never a person I wanted to become like. Yeah, if I have to look like that, then I want to become a person like my mom. I always want to become like a person like my mom. So yeah.
Why? What kind of features you want to take from your mom?
First thing I want to take is my mom's nature. That's the best thing about her. She is the most wonderful person I have in my life. The way she is, like she is always there. She helps. Whatever it is, we in our family is also like very open. We don't lie as well, and she also supports me in all the directions. Even when I wanted to play sports, cricket, it's an Indian sport.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when I was professionally playing esports, she always supported me. She supports me in every decisions, even if my decisions were not good, even with my ex-girlfriends. And she always supported me. And whatever happened, she has worked so hard to just keep that smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my brother's face, my real brother. And that's how a person I want to become in future. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. All right.
Also, she looks very good. Yeah.
Do you have also some younger brother or sister?
Older brother.
Only older.
Yeah, I'm the younger one.
Okay. What was actually like the most memorable, I would say, advice from your mom to you that you remember right now? First, that comes to your mind.
That's one advice, but it is like in my own language, so I'll try to do it in English.
Okay.
So she said that whatever happens, it will always happen because you let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the ball is always in your court.
You have the reason?
Yeah. So you will always be the reason. So if you are finding a reason to blame on someone else, you're not the person you are.
Mm-hmm.
So always look for something which you can do it and then do it, or else don't do it. That's like, and I really follow it because when you're doing something wrong in your life, you can't blame on someone else just because they influenced you. It was you who became influenced from them.
Yep.
So you cannot blame, like suppose you would start doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't support drugs, okay? Yeah. And someone else influences it on you. And that's not his fault or her fault who's doing for you. It's your fault because you accepted it. And my mom always have showed me that compassion towards me, that you are a person like this and so on. And I've never become bad, so yeah.
All right. Very wise words, actually. That's totally true. You're the only reason what happens to you, right?
Yes, I don't fall in bad influences. Even if I do, I never copy, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're from India, right?
Yes.
From what kind of city you are?
Mumbai.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
What is the population of the city, do you know?
Yes, I know.
Approximately, maybe?
32 million.
Whoa. How do you live there?
How do I live there? So I lived there since 20 years of my life, 22 years of my life. 18, probably now, because 4 years I've been in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like the city. It's like so fast.
Fast?
So very fast. Like it's Warsaw is no comparison to it. Warsaw is like 100 times lower.
What do you mean fast? Exactly.
Like, no one cares.
No.
No one cares. Like no one will peek in your life. No one wants to know what you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
which is bad. But sometimes it's good. Like the relatives always keeps on asking you, what are you doing, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one good thing you don't find in Mumbai. Although you find all over in India, but yeah. So that's one thing. And I really like the city because I have my friends, my family.
Mm-hmm.
You don't miss the city, but you miss the people in it. And I haven't found anything like that over years, so yeah.
Here you didn't find something?
No.
Did you find like good friends here at least?
Yes.
What was the main difference for you here in Warsaw and Mumbai?
So when I came to Warsaw is cold.
Okay.
That's the first difference. Second is how people are over here. The culture is very different of Poland, very different from India. So
In what kind of aspects exactly?
so one thing in India you will find is That's if you're traveling in India, or you're walking in India, or you're staying somewhere, you will always find someone who will be there for you. But you don't find the same things in Poland.
What do you mean? Like people
Like,
don't help or what?
do people help over here, but not the way I'm expecting in India. Like in
Okay.
India, it's very different when it comes to it, and it's very difficult for me to explain.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the second thing is how we go through our life. So in India, we actually are too much workaholic.
Mm-hmm.
We work a lot, and over here it's practically you have to only just work for 8 hours. So if you start at 8 and you finish at 4, you get up and you just walk off like you'll work tomorrow. But not in India. If
Mm-hmm.
you start at 8 and you complete at 4, if the task is still there, we'll do the task till
Mm-hmm.
6 or 7 or 8, whatever happens.
Yeah, actually, it's true. It's so true difference because right now, in my company where I'm working, I have lots of Indian friends there, and they work from India. So even if it's night for them, I can write them because I see they are online and still working on something. But Polish people, it's
No.
already like 4 or 5, really, and they are going away. And I was also surprised that they are not so into uh, of their work.
It's, I don't know
But
how
maybe
it is put
it's
it.
also good because they're not so nervous. They don't spend so much time for their work, and sometimes I understand that I should also try to be as Polish people sometimes. It's good to have this feature because in such case you have more free time. Spend this time with friends, with your relatives, call to your mom, and anything to do like or for example hobbies. I don't have time for hobbies, and I'm trying to do it. Like I know right now I do. I'm trying to have this time, but still it's hard when you have work and when you're trying to work as hard as possible, and it's not right. You have to have balance, right?
Yes, you have to, but sometimes the balance. Okay, I'll just tell you a few things.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't work hard, will we move ahead? Probably not. That's how I question myself. So I would rather work hard right now and move ahead and relax at the time when I'm moving ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I think. And when I will be moving ahead, I know that still the time which I'll be giving would be around this March, but at that time also I will enjoy because I will have other workers for me as well.
Mm-hmm. But you see, you have different thinking because as a worker of some company, you will think like, oh, they pay me for these 8 hours, so I will work these 8 hours, right? And I wouldn't do more.
Yes.
So, but if you work for yourself, for example, you wouldn't think so. You will think
No,
like, I'm working for myself. I will work so as hard as possible to get my goals done, to do everything on time, right? So for yourself, of course, people are trying to do as much as possible. I think even Polish people for sure too. They're also hardworking, but for work in the company, I think mostly they are trying just to make this division of work and their own life. So
okay. I was talking in the terms of job, but okay. So why job? Okay. So when you start, suppose you're junior.
mm-hmm.
Let's assume from junior position you go till manager. Will your work be less or more?
More.
More, right? But you'll have someone below you who can help you with the work.
Yeah.
Will it get less then?
No.
Why not?
It will get less, but you still have your responsibilities to do.
Yes. But it will get less, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Will you build connections?
Yes.
Yes. Will you go out?
Yes.
You're answering your my own question. So you get time when you're going ahead. You always get time when you're going ahead, because when you're building yourself, or in the job you're building yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it is how much you work as a start and how much you work at the end. It is always going to be the same. But the life gets easier when it's going ahead. At the start, you think, okay, I'm working 12 hours, this is so difficult for me. But let's assume after 5 years, you're still gonna work for 12 hours, but you won't complain
Mm-hmm.
because the life got easier for you. You met new people, you found connections, you're going out with the new connections, you are having workers for you who are not workers but the employees, colleagues of
But
yours.
you see, not always
Not
you
always,
have
but yeah.
workers. Even now, I'm looking at the company that I'm working in, and I have these managers, seniors, but we are not their employers, right? I'm a junior, but they don't have like a team or something. They just have higher position. It means that they have more tasks and more responsibilities, and that's it. They don't have somebody to move their work, for example, to
Yes,
just relocate this work. I mean, to somebody else.
that's true. That's true. I'm not saying it. I'm not denying it. The fact, but majority it doesn't work like that because whenever the manager work is, it also depends on the junior and senior. So what work you do, he just improves it and sends it ahead. Something like that. I'm speaking from the fact because I have worked a lot in corporate worlds at a, and besides that also have a business. But yeah, I do envy sometimes that you should work 8 hours and you should balance, but I would not think if you would work for just 8 hours, you in your life will get ahead.
So how many hours do you work per day?
For me, or
Yeah.
that's from Monday to Friday. Normally, I work for 14 hours a day to 16 sometimes.
Well, it's great.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah.
For you, not great, but like you have to see out of your perspective.
Yeah, future me would be
it's-
happy. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's what
Yeah.
I meant. Yeah. So you mentioned the work. What was your first job?
My first job was a cleaner at McDonald's.
Whoa!
Yes,
Here
yes,
in Warsaw?
yes. In 2018,
How did you go there?
I just did not wanted to live on my parents. That was one thing, and I just went to McDonald's and I asked that can I get a job. So first they asked me do any polish, so I said no. So they said that the only job you can get is the cleaning because you don't require polish over there. And I was like, okay, whatever the work is, I'll do it. Now the thing is, if I would tell my parents that, my parents would be like super angry because
They didn't know about it?
no, they knew about it, but after a very while, because I used to just tell them that I'm the cashier because my parents would be very angry. Because the thing is, my parents would be angry because they don't want I shift my focus from the studies. That was my first thing, and that's the only thing that they were focusing on. So, and yeah, that's all. But I told them eventually, after 10 days of working, that I'm not the cashier and what I'm doing, and so on. So, yeah. But I didn't last it long. I did it for only 2 months. And then I got, not even 2 months, 1.5 months or 1 month I did, I don't remember correctly. And then I was in a company of chocolates where I don't have to do anything. I just had to put chocolates in the bags and fill it and just give it back.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I don't remember I do remember the name. It was Big Brands Group. PPG, yeah. That's all. Yeah.
It's somewhere under the Warsaw, no?
Yeah, it's
Out
Zone 2,
of-
yeah. Yeah, out of Warsaw, yes.
Okay.
But you might be, you might be talking about the same thing, yes. It was a hard work, although, because sometimes there was also not chocolates, but something else, like the bottled syrups and so on. So it also gets heavier and so on. So yeah, but that's how life is. It taught me and so on. And then I went in gaming company in Testronic, and I was an analyst over there.
At what time? Like
2019 April.
But you didn't have any experience.
No, I did not
or,
have any experience.
No freelance, nothing.
Nothing, no.
How did you get this job?
So
and also, I want first ask you, did this work in McDonald's, right? And the second job, did it was it worth it? Like, do you regret it or not right
No.
now? Good.
because I learned something.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ever do
What
it.
did you learn?
So I never ever even cleaned my house. Yeah, because I always have servants and maids,
Mm-hmm.
and it taught me how it is difficult to even earn one zloty,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me respect money
Yeah.
also more. Although I respected money, but it made me respect more, and yeah, it taught me a lot. That's how much my dad and my mom works hard for me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when I went to other company as well, it was just because I wanted something peaceful, not cleaning and so on. And yeah, I did it for 3 months out there, and then in April I got this job. So
Mm-hmm.
this job was very lucky for me. I had zero experience,
So
first thing.
how did you get it?
So
Where did you find it?
I just applied randomly
Did you make
on
it
LinkedIn.
before you prepared, made CV, was
I had a
ready for
CV.
interviews, right?
Yeah, I had a CV,
Mm-hmm.
like shitty one, but I had just education and my few achievements back then in India,
Mm-hmm.
and
Just example of achievements, just to understand that it's not some experience in work or something, right?
I had experience of work as well in India in management.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it didn't pay me a lot, but yeah, I had.
What was it?
I used to manage events, big ones,
Mm-hmm.
and so on. Yeah,
And you continue.
and yeah, now I do it also in Piat. So yeah.
Do you like this organizing stuff?
Yes, it teaches you a lot. It teaches
Mm-hmm.
you a lot because when you're organizing something, you have to take care about everything. So your presence
Okay.
of mind, your management, your focus, your how you do it. Everything should be on point. If
Mm-hmm.
it's not on point, it won't work good. And management teaches you a lot. So yeah, I really like it. That's also why I have business. So yeah.
So your first job in some game dev, right? What did you do?
Yeah. So I applied for analyst or
Mhm.
tester, analyst and tester, but I didn't get selected as an analyst or tester. I got selected as an SQL backend developer and Java for the logic part. So what happened was, when I gave my CV, I had written like what languages I know
Mhm.
because I knew 5 languages back then. Also,
Mhm.
before coming to Poland, I knew more than five, but the five were the primary ones which I written down, and they were like, okay, we'll give it a try. And I felt very lucky because I did not have a degree, nothing, no
Maybe you
experience.
had some projects that you created,
But no, nothing in IT. Not related to IT, nothing.
like maybe you had some projects on your GitHub, but you uploaded and they saw that you really know something.
Only I created one game,
Mhm.
was checkers.
Mhm.
That's all. I posted on GitHub, but because that was 6 years ago, I did it. So when I was 15. So
Mhm.
it was also like an early age where then they did a checkers game. And it was a simulation with 9,900 moves.
Oh.
So it was very difficult to beat a computer in it.
Mhm.
So I had uploaded that, but it did not. It is like a very easy right now to make chess or checkers.
Just if you know the logic and
Yes.
if you follow it, yeah, it's
Yes.
good. Because we had on the first year we had some subject where our lecturer explained us about chess, how actually it was created. I loved this lecture a lot because it was about programming history and how the first these programs were created, and it's awesome. And first, actually, a program was not a program, but a person was sitting in the booth, and playing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and all this story, it's cool. I like to hear these old stories, how all comes up. Yeah, but I'm sorry for interrupting you. Go
It's
on.
all right. It's all right. It's always good to have more knowledge, and I also had the lecture of Java like that. Yeah. But what I was saying, yeah. So when I went for the interview,
Mhm.
so now what happened when I went to the interview? I really miss going to offline interviews. Now there's no offline interviews. Now everything is online. So I was gone for the offline interview, and they just asked me like few questions, about testing. I answered it. Then they gave me a game to
Mhm.
play and to see what are the bugs and fixes,
Mhm.
and then just write about the bugs and fixes. So I got selected.
Full
After
interview.
so that was the interview.
Play a little bit,
Yeah.
test something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I got selected, it was my first day,
Mhm.
and I just asked my manager, in what language do you fix this? The logic one.
Mhm.
So they said C Sharp and Java. So I asked them, can I work in Java? So my manager said that we don't know because we don't know how much good you are.
Mhm.
And I said that you can throw me any code and I can maybe do it and you can see it. So he gave me some bugs to fix in Java by logic and I did it.
Mhm.
And he was impressed. So he just moved me from there, from testing to Java backend bug tester, whatever it was. I don't know what to tell, but something was there.
Mhm.
And I did it for 8 months. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But did you enjoy the work?
No.
I see.
I used to work for like, one day I worked for 22 hours.
Mhm.
So I started at Saturday, I finished on Sunday.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it was like full-time job?
Yes.
Yes.
And it was getting very difficult with studies, so I had to quit.
How did you manage in such case? And what was the year here in study?
First year.
First year.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I always say, like, people ask me, is it possible to join work and study on
I
first
would
year?
say no.
I'm saying that no.
You
Most of people,
should.
they fail it.
No, it's not about failing, but you should
I mean,
understand how it works and so on.
you need to
Enjoy.
sacrifice a
I would
lot,
just
you
say
know?
fucking enjoy. Enjoy. Like, you get one life, okay, guys? You get one life. And 18 and 19 is quite a good age to learn new things.
Mhm.
Don't jump for a job. Don't jump for one job for just experience. Don't. Get more experience. Because at that age, you can study more, you can learn more, you can get new experience, you can understand about yourself, you can open up yourself, and so on. Because sometimes also at the age of 18 and 19, we also don't know what we want.
Mhm.
And we just jump in the job, we get distracted, and when we get distracted and we just work, we forget what we are, like what we actually wanted to do.
Was it your story? What has happened to you?
No.
No?
I was very focused
Mhm.
on what I wanted.
Mhm.
I was only doing the job because I really liked the games which were coming.
Mhm.
Because I used to also like to play it. So I got to play Witcher, I got to play FIFA, I got to play CS, I don't know, Call of Duty. I also played CSGO on the PC. Then I played this game, I forgot the name, Monster Combat 5 or 6 at that time. I don't remember.
Mhm.
It was that one. Then there was Project Cars and so on. So I played so many games. And I also fixed so many games. So you should be thank you to me.
But yeah, cool. Sounds
Not
really
all,
cool.
but yeah.
And you mentioned also about to find yourself. How did you find out that?
I have not found myself till. No, so yeah.
I mean, but still, you switched to management. What actually was the action that forced you to do this step?
My first step was going back to India. At that moment, after 6 months, yes.
Why?
I didn't really like the studies. It was
Mhm.
boring. It was not challenging enough.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to, I can score like 5 5 5. And if it's not challenging for me, if I'm not failing,
But it's challenging.
then I just know that okay, it's very easy. I have to fail. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And when I fail, I get to know. And maybe it's just overconfidence. That's why I like to fail.
Mm-hmm.
But no, not just that, but also computer science was not something I liked. As a kid, we actually don't know what makes us happy, but when we get adults at 18, 19, it's a time where we choose our universities, colleges, and so on. And that time you have to be very sincere about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to choose what you will like. Besides academic, even if I'm good or not, it never made me happy. Like computer science never made me happy. I was sitting in the lab, I was just doing stuff, assignments. It never made me happy.
When you found out it, only here or not?
over here after 3 months of doing it.
Okay.
I saw in December, yeah, before Christmas holidays. Yeah, I
Okay.
found out that I don't think so that I will be ever happy. The course.
So what switched your mind that you decided to go to India, but you are here right now? So what was going on? Or
Good
maybe
question.
somebody switched it?
No, no one. I don't remember anyone now. My friend did, but I got to know when I enrolled, and then I got to know that even he switched it. Like I didn't knew that he was switching it. So I was talking with my mom and dad. My mom was very upset because I was feeling like that, like I was unhappy and so on. She felt like I'm not happy because I am far from home and not actually from studies. But I explained her my point of view, and she just said me one thing, that do what will make you happy, because if you choose something which will not make you happy, you will always blame yourself till you die.
You will regret.
Yeah. And that just made me think, okay. And I just said that I have my visa till next year. So if I get, and I just said that I will stay over here for like more 4 months. And if I get some good, opportunity or new stream which will be good enough for me, or also I'll really like it, not just challenging, but I really like it, I will take it. And if not, I will come to India, and then I got information management. So yeah.
But how did you go to, like, did you feel like you like management and you decided to go it here, or?
I went to many seminars. As I said, like I also went to Warsaw University of Technology, Polytechnica, Lazask, and so on. So I went to many seminars. I went to consultations. And at that moment, I also went to the consultation over here and the seminar over here, and it clicked. Okay, I want to do this.
Why twice you chose Piatk?
Chose 2 times.
Yeah.
I would not say I have chose 2 times, because computer science is quite nice. If I would be happy at that point in my life, I don't think so I would ever switch it. Because computer science is quite nice in Payat. How they teach is quite also better than Warsaw University of Technology and Polytechnic as well. Because I have been to seminars, I would not say that it's not good, but I just don't. Maybe it's not good for me, and so on. Maybe it's good for someone else. And Piat was one thing where I really fit myself. Small classrooms, small people, like less people, not small, less people, and so on.
So you were mentioning your first IT work, let's say, right? Like testing, game testing, right? So what was in such case your next steps? Why you quote, or what has happened with you?
So I started doing freelancing. Oh, I was doing freelancing since 2019. So I started doing freelancing. I have built many websites. I have done too many AI simulations and so on. So I do freelancing. So if people wants to make an application or logic or AI, I take orders and I do it. But I don't want to work for a company for now, since I have my own company and I don't get too much time to be working for another company.
So I don't. What was your last company that you worked on?
No.
No.
I also worked for an internship in Gdansk for IoT, Internet of Things. But somehow it became sales for me, and I still don't know how. It was so stupid, but nevertheless, I don't want to share the experience because it was so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my last, yeah. And then I started my own business, and it's going good.
How did you start your own business? As I understand, it was already second or third year of your study, right, or not?
Third year.
Third year.
Yeah. 2021.
How is it possible? So you are a student in Warsaw, right? And you're starting some kind of business here, and you don't know Polish? Do you know Polish?
No. Yeah, I
don't know. So you know, don't.
No.
I know that you know some general stuff in Polish for sure.
Yes.
Okay, and you understand Polish? No?
Yes.
Okay. It's already something.
something, yeah, something.
So, how do you come up with idea to create your own business, and what was your first idea?
So it's not my own business. I would say it's also my family business.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the Polish market, okay, and it does not take me a second. Like, I trust myself a lot that if I get a product, I can sell it.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Polish market. I just dived into it. I was like, I worked for 2 months to how to see the Polish market. It was not good. We struggle a lot. I was working with my friend,
Mm-hmm.
and we struggle a lot. We didn't even sell anything for the start 4 months, and then we started selling. So the point was, at that moment in the business, I also understood how we should sell, and how I did the business was I saw the profit ratios. I saw how much is the people require over here. I saw how much is the needs from the B2B business types and B2C.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a small business model, and I did a validation of it, and it worked. Validation was good. The business model was good. So I was like, I will take the risk,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a risk.
Wow. But what you were selling, what exactly
I
was
sell
going
diamonds.
on?
Okay, so I sell diamonds,
Mhm.
naturals for now, and also will soon start
Where do you
jewelry.
take them?
I
You
we
deliver
have
them
we
from
have
other countries?
yes, we have manufacturing in India,
Mm-hmm.
and we do it from there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's what I do, and soon we will start jewelry as well.
Mm-hmm.
So hope, fingers crossed, it goes good. So yeah,
Cool.
anyone who wants to order jewelry, you can contact me. Also,
The reference link
yes,
in the description. We will leave. Can we leave?
yeah, sure.
Okay. All the contacts to you, but you will provide. I will leave there. Okay.
Okay, you don't have my contact. That's bad.
No.
That's bad.
All right. But was it idea of your parents to create business here, or you just asked? Is it possible?
I pushed my father to do over here,
Mhm.
because I wanted to do some business. I was
Mhm.
like, job is job, business is business.
Mhm.
Business is your own.
Yep.
So I pushed my father, like, I want to do the business,
Mhm.
whatever happens. I was like, if you are not relying on me, I will give you the money and be rely on me. But he relied on me, and it happened for good. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Cool.
21 I was. So yeah.
Okay, I have 1 year.
It's not a competition.
It is.
It is.
No, I'm joking.
I'm winning. Then also the
No.
drawing competition.
You're not sure because I'm 20 only. What was your biggest competition in your head?
So it's not a competition, but it's a goal
Mm-hmm.
to become fastest growing in business and millionaires. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
High.
high point, right?
Kind of.
But it is real. It can be real, right? So
Almost.
I mean, you can achieve it anyway.
Yeah, it's alright.
So it's not just your
a goal.
imagination. It's cool.
It's just a
My next question is: so you're working, you're studying, you have all these organizations also. How do you manage to do all of it? Tell me, please.
Actually, I don't.
You don't.
I have so much on my plate that I don't manage everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I just try to do as much as I can. I'm young. I just want to use all of my energy at this age, because I know that after I will be like 27, 28, the responsibilities will be much more, and then I have to start leaving the stuff and just
Mhm.
focusing on the main stuff. So, at that moment, I already know that what I will be doing with my
Mhm.
life. And at this age, it's all right. I can just do many things. So, yeah, I'm doing it. So your question, I'm not answering your question perfectly because I still can't manage everything. We already rescheduled this interview also 2 times.
But anyway, you're doing it step by step. But
Yes, I felt guilty.
I mean, you're doing. I mean, you're doing study well. You're doing your organizations well. You're leading business well. So you do manage. Maybe not everything, but you do.
Yeah, sometimes
So
I compromise a lot in my life. So yeah. So if I have to go out on a particular day, I would just compromise that for something else. So I compromise myself a lot. So yeah.
For example, can you exactly give some details? Like you want to go out, but
So I haven't taken a real vacation in 2 years. That makes sense. Oh, I did go to India. When I went to India, I still worked. So it
okay.
did not make sense to even have the vacation. Yes, I'm in India. It seems yes, but I still worked. So yeah. And besides that, I haven't done any real vacation in 2 years or maybe 3. Yeah. So I compromise myself a lot, and I love to take vacations a lot. I love to go out, and I'm compromising that.
Okay. So do you make something like, oh, if I will do this during the week, on the Saturday I can go for a walk, for example. I can go rest.
There's no rest for me till now, at least. So today we are doing interview. So today is a good day for me because I'm not gonna work today. Even if we finish the interview late, it's not gonna be a huge issue because I'm not gonna work today. But tomorrow I'm gonna work. So it's Sunday and I'm working. So it's like that. So it's very difficult for me to compromise a day in my life. So first I used to compromise Wednesday. I used to never work on Wednesday. I would work on Saturday, Sunday as well, but not on Wednesday. I just didn't like the day. So, but now I do work. I have to work, I work. And it's not a huge issue for me because I also like what I work. So that's the one thing. If I would not like what I work, then it would be a problem. But I like what I work. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. I see. Because I understand that I also work on weekends.
Lovely.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm thinking like I can't manage to do everything. I have also study, work, organizations, YouTube. So, but yeah, as you were saying, I'm not.
I still want to become an esports player, so.
I still want to be a person who is working with 3D. So.
Yes, it's just gonna be a dream now. I feel. Like I do play 3 hours at least at night, so I compromise my sleep as well. I sleep for 4 hours.
How is it possible?
I don't know. Sometimes I sleep for 2 hours.
But yeah, I don't understand. Your organism will have to require this sleep. What is the magical sleep are you getting? Like, I know that some people make some meditation and they can fall asleep for 4 hours and they will wake up and they will be so fresh and ready to work.
I slept for 3 hours. Do I feel fresh?
Not feeling fresh?
No, I'm asking. Do I feel fresh? I slept for 3 hours.
You do?
Yes, that's.
But how is it possible?
Okay, so for me, my body just requires, I guess, maximum 6 hours, and then it's also nice. 4 hours is also nice. Although I like sleeping, it's not like I don't like, but it's not good in long term. But yeah, so I have to change. But right now, I want to also want to do many things. So that's also one thing. Like I want to also play esports. I want to at least give one more try. I did for so many years, but I did it in India where the esports is not so big. When I've come to Europe where the esports is big, so I want to also give one try. I feel that I have talent, so yeah.
Okay. Oh, I also wanted to ask you about feel that you have talent. So, when you were as a child, did you feel that you will have this life that you have right now?
Somehow yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did not actually thought that I would be sitting right now over here talking to you. But yes, in general, yes, I knew that I would go out in my life. There were two lives which I had dreamt of. One was I would be going out and doing business,
Mm-hmm.
and which I'm doing. And the second life was which I wanted more to be true, and this wanted I wanted to be less of to be true. And the second life was I would be playing cricket for my country.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go back to India in the future?
I don't know. However, the life goes on.
So you don't know in what kind of country do you want to live in the
No,
future?
no, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I see. But actually, I didn't ask you this question why you chose Poland, and yeah, this standard question that everybody asks. I think
So I got
we have
scammed
to-
in Poland.
What?
So what happened was, okay, so I was applying for a student, and I was like too not worried about where I have to apply. So I had a person who was applying for me.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought that I don't speak English.
Okay.
So now the thing was, he thought like he knew that I speak English, but not so good. So now the thing was, I started applying in June,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite late already. And he said that if he has to go to any country, the only country he can go is to Portugal, Poland, Malta, and so on, where you actually don't require IELTS,
Mm-hmm.
and you can directly go. So I was like, okay, because and I thought that the time is less. That's why he's saying like that. So I was like, okay, I'll just pick, and then I was starting to see which university I'll go. Then I saw the Polish Japanese Academy of Information Technology. I really liked it, so I just looked like, okay, this one. But then I got to know that he thought that I don't know how to speak English,
Mm-hmm.
and that I was like, what, bro? I really felt bad. But nevertheless, it turned out to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Poland turned out to be good, and I also like it now. So yeah.
Okay. And why Polish Japanese Academy?
For IT. I would be very honest. I wanted to learn IT, and I saw the program of IT, and it was good
Mm-hmm.
as compared to other universities. And there was one graduate friend of mine who was from here, and he also said that IT is quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my only reason. Yeah.
Okay, for me also the program was the reason because I traveled in the Poland in different cities to see universities and to see the programs of uni, and I realized that for me the best program is here because some of the unis they surprised me in a bad way even. So yeah, I'm glad that I chose this one also.
Yeah.
All right. So I also wanted to ask you in such case, what are your future plans? Or what do you think to do in such? What ideas you have right now?
Actually, I don't have a future plan. And it's the first time I'm feeling like that because in my home, everyone says I am the person who already sees a future, what he wants to do with,
Mm-hmm.
and he does it. Like when I also was doing computer science, I always said that okay, I will do this since I was like 14,
Mm-hmm.
but after learning Java, and I did it. I went to computer science and so on. But then when I changed computer science, now I actually don't know what I actually want to do. And then I just said to myself one thing that whatever I do, I have to do in what I will be happy. And that's all. And even if I will be happy in dancing, I'll go dancing. Yeah, something. But although I'm 110% sure I won't be feeling happy in dance. I was bad at dancing as well.
All right, but it's nice to follow just your dreams, and when you're able to, because some people are thinking that they don't have option to earn money there, and that's why they just reject the option to
I would
follow
just-
their dreams.
Yes, I would just say one thing. If you would earn 5,000 zlotys in
Mhm.
your passionate job, and you would earn 10,000 zlotys in some job which will be shitty, you would be happy with the shitty job for short term. For the short term, you will be
Mhm.
happy, but you have to view for the longer term. You will be happy in a longer term for your passionate job. So I would choose a passionate job because it would also make you come up with creative ideas, things, and so on. What if in the future you make yourself a business out of the passionate job?
Mm-hmm.
and it turned out to be more than IT. So you don't know what is going to be the future. No one knows. So always I would say that follow your dreams if you are really good in what you're really dreaming of.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're really good at something, I would say that go for that. Not for something just because there's a pressure on your head, like you should take this, take this, take this. Like
Mm-hmm.
no.
Okay. Also, I wanted to ask you advices for future students and for future people who maybe will have very similar way as you do.
Okay. Advice is
Or like advice to yourself when you were just in the beginning of your way. What
okay.
would you say to yourself even?
So one thing which I didn't do, and I would advise also to myself if I can go back,
Mm-hmm.
would is enjoy yourself for at least 1.5 to 2 years, because at that 2 years when you will be alone, you will get to know what you actually want to do, and you will also open yourself to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very big question, because when we're living in a parenthood with our parents, we are never open to ourselves as well. We only get to know about our capabilities when we start living by ourselves. I'm not saying that you have to kick your parents off for that, but you also have to start relying on yourself more, and that will only get to know after you start living on your own or also with parents, but you have to rely more on yourself at that moment. So that 2 years, I would say, focus on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my one advice. And then I would say that go for anything you like, you love, like whatever is your passion about, and yeah, that's all. And study, I would say, don't fool around, because studies is very important when it comes to life. I know that businesses or so on does not require all kind of studies, but it does require some knowledge. So studies doesn't mean that you have to get good grades. From studies, get knowledge. Even if you fail a subject, but never fail in life. Like get the knowledge and pursue more.
Awesome speech. Thank you. We can
Yeah.
finish, I think, on this stage, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But I have also some external questions to you after.
Oh,
Uh,
you have me for the day, so yeah.
Thank you. Okay, and thank you for all of you who are watching us.
Thank you guys for having me.
And thank you guys for your support. I'm waiting for your new comments downstairs, and also I will leave all the links about Nish in the description,
I'm not
so
a
you can
social person.
contact. Yeah, so you can contact him, and yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for coming. And
Pleasure is on mine.
yeah.
Thank you for the interview. Also, I'm not so much social person, but I would love to help people as much as I can. Would always be ready to help. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you guys. See ya.
See you.
Do you have some advice of books? What kind of book maybe impact on your life decision a lot, or do you have something in your mind for now?
No. But there was one book, I don't remember the name perfectly,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a life path. The name was Life Path. I don't remember the writer, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a really good book because it shows not just the good parts, it also shows the worst part of it
Mm-hmm.
and how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also good.
Like,
But in general, I haven't read many books about life, but I have lived it. How I would say.
okay.
I have gone through worse to bad, from worse to good times.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I've lived it, and that's why, because I also love to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. I also wanted to ask you about the business. How did you start it? I mean, in details, but you went to the government and you said like, I'm opening the
Yeah,
business.
but online. Everything is now online, and even in Poland. So
Still?
yeah, for opening a business as well.
Really?
Yeah, so you just have to do an application,
Mm-hmm.
and it just accepts within 4 days, and it's on. Then the business is on, and then you have to do that. You have to select the taxes, which taxes you have to pay, the VAT, or if you're not paying VAT and so on. and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
What can you say about taxes in Poland?
It's 23% VAT in
Mhm.
Poland and 19% on income tax. But VAT is not paid by us, but by the customer. So you also have to think about that. 19% is the tax on private limited liability company, and 9% on the short one. What is it called? One person company.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's 9%, and 19% also on SA, which is limited liability company, limited company, not limited liability. And limited company is a bigger threshold. You have to invest like around 50,000 zlotys to start it.
Mm-hmm.
In limited liability company, you have to invest 5,000 zlotys, and in the
You
small,
mean the beginning?
yes,
Oh.
and
So for the start, how much money do you need to have just to open it in such case?
limited. Mine is limited liability company, so 5,000 zlotys.
Okay.
Yeah, not more.
All right.
And yeah, that's all.
Do you think it's hard to lead here the business? Especially, is it hard to lead as a foreigner or not?
Yes, because the paperwork should be done in Polish.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to hire someone, and that's why you pay some
Accountant.
additional money. But in terms, it is actually pretty easy, even to do taxes. It's not so much complicated like in India, but it's like pretty easy. So I would say, yeah, it's then it won't be a problem. Like first 1 month for the making the company, it would be a little problem, but then it won't be.
Mm-hmm. Is it expensive to have somebody to manage all of it? The accountant?
Accountant, no, it charges you from 250 to 500 zlotys, and they
Mm-hmm.
check everything of yours.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like huge money
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to it. And actually, you don't require accountants if you're just gonna keep if you're good in bookkeeping and accounting, then actually you don't require account accountant, because you can just write the expenses, your sheets, and at the end you can just do taxes and just give it. So even I don't keep an accountant.
Mm-hmm.
I only call an accountant in 6 months one time to just check it if my account is exactly
Okay.
perfect with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because some expenses which we think is there but it's not there, because they actually know the Polish law as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we write in expense, but sometimes it's not. So you just have to pay VAT on it. Although the VAT is not so much, so it's all right. So yeah,
Cool. Really great. I didn't know that we can just open it from online and everything is so simple. At
it's
least
quite
it looks like.
it is simple. Actually, it's simple.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also can help a person to make a company.
Super.
Yes.